Greetings, everyone. So, this story I'm going to share, this message, this video, is a bit more unique than the other content, the other videos that are on my channel. Yet, I am being compelled to share these insights with everyone. I am able to channel. I don't consider myself a channeler. It's not something that I just do on the regular. I do have the ability to do so. I do not charge for it. I don't want people coming to me asking to channel their family members, so on and so forth. I like it to just be something that happens naturally in an astrological reading session or something such as that. I'll just read someone and if they have a family member who has passed on and has a message from the other side to share, then I will just give that message right then and there. Nonetheless, more recently, I have been contacted by the late great singer Prince, artist, phenomenal performer, multi-talented in so many ways. And I feel compelled to share his story, to share the insights that he has given to me in when it comes to the music industry and things that has happened to him, so on and so forth, and just messages that he is bringing to our world. Now, how I began to realize that I was channeling Prince, it's a very unique story. I don't want to get into too many details of it, but really I started to feel connected to Prince. I believe that was back in 2016 when I first came across his spiritual energy, and I saw the word love, and I just saw this purple, but I felt his energy around, and I didn't think too far into it. Yet this year, when I was dealing with a very difficult financial situation and I was trying to work, I was trying to get it and make some supplemental income, I was praying to God for a break. It was late at night. I was just so frustrated. It was during a Mercury retrograde, so I already knew that my mind wasn't functioning as properly as it usually does, but I knew all of that was a part of my lesson, so on and so forth. Nonetheless, I prayed, and when I prayed, I ended up seeing all these purple lights everywhere, look like literal purple rain. And I was like, why does that look like purple rain? And why do I feel Prince's energy? And Prince just started to telepathically share insights with me. He was sharing insights about money and how we work for money. We teach the universe how to treat us, and we shouldn't work for money. We should tune into something that we love to do, and we should get into a habit of just expressing ourselves and knowing that we will be taken care of. And when we are working these meaningless jobs or these low merit jobs, these low profitable gigs, we're telling the universe that we will sacrifice ourselves, our comfort, even our lives, because some of these jobs could be life-threatening, for the sake of finances. So we're functioning out of a low sense of worth, so on and so forth. So that night, when I prayed before Prince's energy showed up, I had prayed to God, I just need some rest. I just need to be able to sleep. And so I drove home. It was about 4 a.m. And when I got home, I saw that a client booked a session with me. But this client booked a session with me. It was 4:46 a.m. that I got the confirmation of her session. Her birthday is June the 7th, which is Prince's birthday. And the session she booked with me certainly allowed me to get rest for that day. So I was very grateful, but I was very wow, out of all the days of the year, a client booked me who has Prince's birthday, And when I ended up speaking with this client, her purpose in life is to bring messages from the spiritual realm and to give them tangible form. So I was blown away by that, knowing her purpose and sharing that with her from the insights of the reading that I gave to her. And so that whole time, I ended up booking a major client that literally just took me out from working how I was working and just put me in a whole nother space and plane. And she was born the same year as the client who shares a birthday with Prince. And this other client was just telling me how she's so over money and the ideas of it and so on and so forth. And she was sharing insights with me that Prince shared, and it was just really fascinating. And then over the weeks, I would just reflect on these messages, even though some of them already were already resonating with me. I already understood some things. I was having, just a momentary downturn in my judgment as it came to manifesting wealth. But how he shared it with me and how everything came about just solidified and brought forth clarity to the understanding, to the downloads I had been receiving. It just gave it just a concrete understanding, even having other people come forth and be involved in inconspicuous ways, of course. Nonetheless, Prince was sharing with me that we have so much power upon us and so much access to power that we do not utilize in our world. It's through our ancestors. And I know that Prince was Jehovah's Witness, so it was very interesting for him to share that with me. And this was when I was in a more dreamlike state at this time. He was sharing these insights with me. When I was in a dreamlike state, it seemed like I was in a dreamlike state for hours, and the entire time Prince was just communicating with me. And yeah, he was stating that we have much more power than we realize. We haven't begun to attempt to access it, but it is through connecting with our ancestors. He did share with me that we should feed our ancestors through offerings and things of sorts. And he shared with me when we do so, we don't have to feed all of our ancestors all at once, that it is more respectful to separate their food, and even separate their plates of food. And like, say for instance, you're going to feed your ancestors and you'll feed them all together on one plate. It's okay to just feed 3 ancestors and split the food up on 3 different plates to give them that individual care, love, and things of the likes. So that was very interesting. I didn't expect a message like that to come from Prince, knowing that, he was Jehovah's Witness. Yet I know when we transcend beyond the physical realm, we do have access to more power, information, so on and so forth. So that was one message that I received from him, and along with the message about money. And then just over the weeks, he was sharing insights with me. The last time he really spoke with me was November 4th, which is the day that his sister passed on. And I found that very interesting. He was actually in my presence in my living room, and I was reading into something dealing with him. And his sister passed away that day. So yet he wasn't sharing that message of her passing with me. Nonetheless, I really feel that I know that Prince is coming forth to share with me these messages because he wants his story to be spoken about a lot more. He feels that his story has been overshadowed and just overlooked, and it's very blatant and very obvious that he was murdered by his record company, Warner Brothers. Even when you hear his passing and how he was found on an elevator, I mean, come on, that's not a normal way that a person who's ill or overdoses just dies on an elevator. You can tell he was attempting to escape. And when it comes to even days before he died, months, weeks, like he was alluding to the fact that he may not make it because how he was trying to expose Warner Brothers and record labels in general. And we just, we don't pay attention enough to his passing. And so he is sharing these things with me and wanting me to speak on them so that his story is spoken out more, because the more that we speak about things and cover these different stories, the more the other forces are forced to face what they have done. So I am simply here to share the insights that he has given to me. Now, Prince was not just trying to take back his own masters. That's not the reason that they ended his life. They ended his life because he was on a mission to liberate all artists from the thievery and oppression of record labels. He was going to really teach other artists to not sign with record labels and to to be independent. Like, that was his mission, is to teach and to educate artists on how to be independent and keep their money for themselves, so on and so forth. Now, his mission would have cost the music industry billions of dollars. Billions. It would have bankrupted them, because he was going to end up helping other artists become independent, get their money back. He was going to do so many things. And they, didn't want the truth to come out of who they are, what they do, let alone lose a great deal of wealth behind it. So these are the reasons that they took him out. Okay. Now, I'm going to get into just some messages that I have received from Prince. One message that I found very profound is that he stated that I have no idea how lucky I am to be able to say whatever I want to say. Many celebrities are controlled and they are not able to speak and authentically share their thoughts, their views, their opinions, their religious ideals, so many things. They are controlled. They're in a wall-less prison. And he was stating, he shared with me that I have no idea how lucky I am to be able to say whatever I want. But he wasn't just saying that to me. He was saying that to all of you, all of us people, all of us common people. We have no idea how truly liberated we are in retrospect to celebrities, and we should rejoice in that. And we should also use our voices so much more to speak the world that we want to exist in, and to condemn those who are doing wrong on the planet. Pluto and Aquarius, we have the power in our hands, and it is time for us to speak against the things that we do not want a part of our world, period. Prince was sharing with me, when it comes to money, that it is imperative that we find happiness beyond money. True happiness comes from experiencing love. Love with your friends, love with your lover, love with your children, love with life, love with the beauty of earth. And we should bask in that energy. They have convoluted our experience of love, making us feel like we can only experience love if we have a certain amount of wealth and able to go on trips, go here, go there, buy this and buy that. But simple love, enjoying simple love at a park should suffice enough, especially when we get beyond our superficial states of minds and ideals of life that has been downloaded into us from I call it the celebrity culture virus. Okay. The celebrity culture virus has us all feeling as though we're not enough. And so we lack the full capability to connect with another human being in purity and pure love, and rejoice and joy and laughter. These things are the richest things that we have. We need to take our power back and our love back away from the idea of money. because it's crippling us and it's making us broke, it's making us feel empty and void and just so many things. It does so many things that are not beneficial to us. What was interesting for me when it came to the messages that Prince shared with me about money is that a few weeks passed and Prince kept telling me to listen to his Lotus Flower album, which I found fascinating because I have a lotus flower tatted on my stomach, on my belly button, and I didn't know, I have never listened to this album before, and I didn't know that he had a song called Money. And that song really tells what he's been sharing with me about money. So you all check out his music, play his music, and check out that song Money. Now, something else that was really mind-blowing for me to hear from Prince is that there are celebrity slaves. And I know that he had the word slave written on his face at one moment for a performance. Yet he was telling me that there are actual celebrity slaves who don't want to even be famous at all, and or didn't know what the fame would come with. And if they knew what it would come with, they would have opted out of attaining such fame or level of it. And some of these celebrities don't want to perform. They don't want to go out. They don't want to go to these events, but they are forced to and threatened and coerced to perform and to be celebrities. Justin Bieber is one of them. Rihanna is one of them. And it looks as of late that Mary J. Blige is also one of them. I'm not for certain on that. Nonetheless, Justin Bieber is a complete victim to fame. He, of course, wanted to get some recognition. He wanted to be seen. He wanted to be known. He wanted to make music. But if he knew the actual price and cost, he would have opted out. Rihanna, the same. Rihanna was essentially kidnapped, and Rihanna was even brought to the limelight to give Beyoncé some form of a healthy competition in the space of music, just like a friendly, healthy competition, but to pedestalize Beyoncé as this great performer, this great talent in act. And if she was given some healthy competition, it would actually push her career further. And Rihanna ended up surpassing Beyonce's stats when it came to music, when it came to number ones and things of sorts. And this is why Rihanna has been kind of forced to stop making music. Her musical career was held back because she exceeded the expectations of where she was to be placed, and she outperformed Beyonce in the charts. Now, Prince shared with me that Beyonce made a fool of herself dressing up as him. It was really funny that she even dressed up as him, because a couple of weeks prior, I was on a live on Instagram with my sister Herb Alchemist, where I shared that I had been channeling Prince, that he's been speaking to me, and my sister was saying that I need to talk, I need to share the messages that I'm receiving from him. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. If I do it, I'm not doing it for any attention from nobody. I'm only going to share if I'm compelled to share, if, he really wants me to share his message with the world. And so that was the end of our live. And I do know that Beyonce is aware of me. She's seen my stuff before. She's copied me before. I've worked with people who work with her, and she is aware of who I am. Nonetheless, 2 weeks later, on Halloween, Beyonce dressed up as Prince. And I felt when she dressed up as Prince, it was to kind of laugh in my face a little bit. But Prince shared with me that she has no idea how she's cursed herself with doing so. Prince doesn't like Beyonce at all, and he loathes Kim Kardashian. Prince just doesn't like pretentious energy of any kind coming from anyone. And Beyonce is a pretender. She is very pretentious of just her entire character, who she is and what she represents. And that was very interesting. Prince came to me and showed me like a very sinister energy that he has, and how he will play a role in her making a fool of herself. Her dressing up as his energy was a mockery to him. And he's like, oh, you want to play with me? Watch me play with you. And so apparently, or supposedly, I don't know really what to even say, but there's going to be a time that Beyoncé performs where she slips and falls. And it looks like she's wearing black, or the stage is black. Something about the color black is very prominent in this performance. And it could be that just the energy surrounding her is a dark energy. It could be that as well. Nonetheless, she's going to make a mistake. She's going to slip, or she's going to fall. And she will look kind of crazy. Her dancing won't translate over to us like, oh, wow, she's dancing so beautifully. And it's going to be like, I don't know what happened to her. It looks like she's fallen off. I don't know. She's not as good as she used to be. People will begin to say that. I know that some people are feeling that way as of late, but he was just sharing with me that there's going to be, when she's on stage, there's going to be a moment she's on stage, she's cracking, she's slipping, she's falling, she looks a mess, and the rituals that she's done for her fame has fallen off. She has some form of protection. She has a level of protection when it comes to her spiritual works that she's done, but it's not serving her like it used to. It's not giving her that veil. It's not giving her that filter, that mask of being this very talented or great performer. She has put in a lot of hard work, don't get me wrong. And I believe that Beyoncé is beautiful. I think she's beautiful on television, on pictures and things of the likes. And I do like some of her songs. I like some of her styles. I like even some of her dancing. Yet, and nonetheless, a lot of what we like when we see Beyoncé, the beauty that we see, the talent that we see, comes from her stealing the energy of others. She's wearing a filter. She's been wearing an Aaliyah filter throughout her career. She did sign off for that ritual when it comes to the murder of Aaliyah, to be able to stand in Aaliyah's place. Aaliyah was helping Beyoncé with her career before she passed away. Beyoncé was being rejected left and right when it came to her career, and she was getting tired of being rejected and not being on top, and she was presented this opportunity by Jay-Z to off Aaliyah so she can stand in that place, and Beyoncé agreed to it. And so she's been wearing an Aaliyah filter, and over the years, Aaliyah's music hasn't been heard, hasn't been used in movies and things of sorts, hasn't been sampled so much because of Beyoncé and the plan with the ritual, the goal with it, so on and so forth. It's just a lot, y'all. It's a lot when it comes to these spiritual messages, but all will eventually be revealed in the 3D world where these messages will be unrefuted. I feel as though myself and many others, our voices are used to share these insights and stories before they are told in a significant, impactful way, so that people can trust in the understanding of spirit itself, to trust that there are things that are happening beyond our sights, beyond our optical capabilities. And we need to know that spirit is real, that God is real. And something I shared with my son a few weeks ago is that you can see someone that has many physical capabilities and talents. They're able to dance, they're able to jump. They're contortionists. They're seemingly like freaks of nature, if you will. They can jump really high, play basketball. They're just very talented with their physical bodies. It seems as though they have extra capabilities with their physical ability. And where that is true, there are people in the world who simply have extra capabilities with their minds. They're able to see the future. They're able to see energies. They're able to see frequencies. They're able to see beyond the facades that people try to uphold. They could read between the lines. I am one of those people that have extra mental capabilities. And for years, we've been deemed schizophrenic, crazy. I'm not going to deny that sometimes there are a bit of mental anguish when you have such sight, So I do understand how people can say, oh, they're crazy, they're schizophrenic, they're this, that, and a third, because you're unable to see some of the things that we're able to see. But if a person has a sense of grounding for themselves, they're able to take care of themselves, be self-sufficient, interdependent, maintain healthy relationships, so on and so forth. And their predictions have come across and their prophecies have been fulfilled over and over and over again, time after time. At a certain point, you have to understand that this person just simply has extrasensory capabilities of the mind, and it's just important to respect it, And so I feel that that's what God is doing with myself and many others, and our ancestors who have transcended past the physical realm are participating in this and giving some of us messages. And I won't get messages from everyone, yet I am grateful and thankful that I am receiving downloads and messages from Prince. I do not believe this will be the last time that I channel insights from Prince. I am open to channeling as many insights as he'd wish for me to. And I hope you all enjoyed this message and share this message with others. I feel that the messages that he has given can help us all in different ways to varying degrees. Thank you all for listening and tuning in. Peace, light, and divine love.